Brunettes, and welcome to another episode of Over as Fuck. And I'm your host, Knuckle Brew, the host. And we're going to be breaking down NXT this evening from the Performance Center on February 17, 2026. And the biggest thing coming out of this, NXT is officially better than main roster WWE because NXT is actually pushing stories. They're actually pushing feuds. They actually go somewhere. And the main roster, like we just watched Raw yesterday, it was pitiful. It's pathetic. Pathetic. And think about NXT, they're developmental. And developmental is now better than our main roster. And I'm just talking about by putting on just a television performance. And I guess I should give all kudos to Shawn Michaels on this because their booking down there actually works, unlike the main roster. But we're going to stop talking about that today. This is an NXT video, and kudos to the developmental. They've been putting in good ass work, and they've had good back to back shows from what I've seen lately. And honestly, it's the best thing to watch when it comes to WWE right now. Maybe once we get close to Elimination Chamber, the main roster shows will get better. But we do have some good stars going like Trick Williams, and then they show Oba beating up Kid Wilson and stuff like that. We just had Javon Evans go to the Elimination Chamber, so there are some stars who do some things on these main roster shows. But when it just comes to just a complete television show, NXT has it beat. It may be because the 2 hour runtime, or it's just a more concise show. But yes, it's a much enjoyable watch. So today we had Tony D'Angelo coming back to fight Dark State. He has a match with Cutler James this evening. We had Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints throw hands. Pretty interesting. We'll go over those promo segments that happened. And in the main event today, we had All Ego Ethan Page going against Shiloh Hill for the North American title. And the biggest thing about this is Ethan Page is going for the defense record of this belt. So if he wins this, he will have had the most title defenses of this belt, and he's only 20 days away from having the days record that Obafemi and Carmelo Hayes both hold. So this match has some very big stakes other than just a title belt. Again, the main roster couldn't tell us a story like this at all. So we're gonna break this down segment by segment. If you've been following me lately, I tell you what I'm bullish about and I tell you what I'm bearish about. If you're not familiar with those terms, take it to the stock market. Bullish means put your stocks in it, and bearish means we're going down. So yes, I am the IWC Truest Stockbroker, the Hoss, and we're going to break down NXT. So we start today. First match, we had Lola Vice versus Kaylani Jordan. And we didn't have any walk-ins, no superstar walk-ins, nothing like that. We went straight to graps. And with this match, Lola comes in injured with an injured right hand that Kaylani attacked 2 weeks ago. So she has this right hand taped up, and Kaylani just starts attacking it from the jump. She's working the hand over. She ends up taking the brace off. She smacks the hand everywhere, takes it to the turnbuckle, starts pulling on the fingers. Still real nasty heel work, working their weakness. Then she stomps on it a few times, gives an arm bar, and just working her over, just working her over. And Lola's trying to put up best she can. She's pulling up the kicks. She's fighting southpaw straight left-handed. She throws it right here and there, but it's just not much she can do. So Kaylani ends up taking control. She makes Lola submit with an armbar submission. I am bullish on this match, and I'm also bullish on this feud because this is actually a long-term feud that's been going on for about a month now. And Kaylani cost Lola the North American Championship against Izzy Dame. So they've got this long-term feud going. I'm thinking it's going to go into Vengeance Day, maybe even Stand and Deliver. We'll see how this goes. Like I say, the house is very bullish on Lola and the Kaylani beef right now. So after this, we have a Tony D'Angelo segment. He comes in, he issues a warning to Cutler James and Dark State. Now, again, If you've been following me, the Hoss is really big on Tony D'Angelo. They're making him a big ass deal, and it's very interesting. They're making him a powerhouse, and he's finna go against this faction by his damn self. Tony D has no family. He has no nothing. Like no one is there. It's just him and those four members of Dark State. And I'm gonna tell you how it happens later, but Tony D'Angelo is not playing no games with these guys. I'm telling you, he's a big player. Like Joe Hendry might be the champ on this show, but Tony D'Angelo is clearly the main character of NXT right now. So we go from that segment, we go to Cutler James, that he's talking to the rest of of Dark State. He says he's going to send a message to Tony D'Angelo for Dark State, and he's going to basically saying you can't fuck with us. We them guys here. That's basically what Cutler James is saying. So he better be able to back this shit talking up he has for Tony D'Angelo. So I am bullish on this segment, even though I cannot stand Dark State. I cannot stand. I don't know much about Cutler James, but Tony D'Angelo carries his whole story. I'm interested in it. I want to see where it goes. So bullish, extremely bullish. So after this, we have Ricky Saints walking in, like doing one of his superstar walk-ins. He immediately gets attacked by Joe Hendry because he's retaliating from last week when Joe Hendry had his match against Jackson Drake, and Ricky Saints came in and just beat his ass after that match. So they get to throwing hands, and security has to break them up. That segment lasts a little second. Bullish on it because it seems like the Joe Hendry Ricky Saints thing is going to be our main event going into Vengeance Day, and it may even last to Stand and Deliver. And this might be the last hurrah of both these guys in NXT because Joe Hendry is an older guy already, and Ricky Saints is also older as well. So they're not going to be in NXT too much longer. I believe they're going to probably be called up. At least one of them will be called up after WrestleMania, maybe going into SummerSlam. So this feud is going to be big for the both of these men. Again, extremely bullish. Even though the Hoss cannot stand Ricky Saints, Ricky Saints actually brought probably his best effort on NXT to me this evening. Maybe everybody else loves Ricky Saints. I'm not big on the absolute, not at all. Not big on it, but he brought it today. We'll begin to that segment in just a second. So after this, we have we have a Shallow Hill interview, and Shallow Hill is getting it. He's saying he has a counter for everything Ethan Page has tonight. He's talking wild. He has the teeth out and all that. And Hank and Tank come in for some ungodly reason, and they say they can't understand him. I couldn't really understand him either. But Shallow Hill came there, he was talking this shit, and he walked off. I'm bearish on this because I do not believe that they're going to give this evolved new guy the win over Ethan Page. We will see how it goes. Bearish, really bearish. I'm going to put my chips down on this one. We'll see how this goes. So after this, Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry comes out storming to the ring, calling out Ricky Saints, and Ricky Saints joins us from the balcony. And going into this promo, ladies and gentlemen, family. Like I said, Ricky Saints came out here and he just went scorched earth on Joe Hendry. He said Joe Hendry has no swag. Said he's a walking meme. He said you're holding my championship. You have no fashion. You have no talent. You just come up here and you're just a great marketable guy. That's basically what he's saying. You're the only reason you're here because you have a song and you can sell fucking t-shirts. Ricky Saints went in on this promo. I'm very bullish on this. This is the first time Ricky Saints fucking won me over, and it was very fucking interesting because you had Ricky Saints up here at this fucking balcony and Joe Hendry down here at the bottom, and he says, so Ricky says he wants to challenge him. He wants a chance for his belt. Joe Hendry says we can meet at Vengeance Day, but bring your ass down here. He said, bring that ass here, boy. He didn't say it like that, but basically he said it just like that. He said, let me show you who's best. Because last time I'm checked, I'm the champion of this show, so that makes me the best. And Ricky said, you basically just holding the title hostage for me, homie. And then they just go there, and we got Ricky versus Joe at Vengeance Day. I'm telling you, bullish on this, even though I personally do not care for Ricky Saints. He won me over for this match. So we're going to get Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints at Vengeance Day on March 7th. Mark it down. It should be a good match. March 7th. Extremely bullish from the Hoss. Hoss approved. So after this, we go into an Izzy Dame culling vignette. I could care less. I promise you, because I've been trying to get this whole thing. I don't think Izzy Dame should be wrestling. I think Izzy Dame should be a manager for someone, a valet. She's not just great in that ring. She talks okay, got long legs. She reminds me of Stacy Keebler, but she shouldn't be wrestling. So they keep trying to push her up on me, and I'm just not buying it. I don't care for the culling as a group. I'm glad Tatum Paxley got away from them, even though I'm not even big on her. But I guess I will learn to love her because I cannot stand Izzy Dame or the culling. Completely bearish on this vignette. They were up here talking about how the culling is gonna get titles and how Izzy Dame's gonna keep her title. And yuck. Just completely yuck. Don't care. Disgusting. Completely bearish. Not buying any of it. We're going on to the next thing. Now, this is where I'm going to get bullish at real quick. So we got match number two. Match number two coming in. We got Tony D going against Cutler James. Excuse me. So for this match, Tony D wins in a glorified squash because Cutler James comes in. He gets like 3-4 seconds of offense. Tony shuts that shit down immediately. Next thing you know, there's a big ass spear and a strong spine buster, and that's it for the 1, 2, 3. So yes, Tony D came here and whooped that ass so quickly. Then Dion Lennox come in to attack Tony D'Angelo, and you know what he does? He dwarfs that shit real fucking quick. Dion Lennox didn't see the fight. You never think Dion Lennox was in that title match, in that title ladder match just 2 weeks ago. You never think he was a contender. He got his ass beat by Tony D, just like Cutler James. They get outside. They're getting the steel steps put on them, just getting decimated by Tony D'Angelo. Then security comes out, has to break it up before Tony D'Angelo can whoop more of their ass. You needed more of Dark State to come stop this man. They could not stop Tony D'Angelo. That man was on a fucking mission. You think he was zooted on powder. He whooped all of their asses expeditiously. I'm telling you, if you didn't see it, go watch Tony D'Angelo beat the fuck out of 2 members of Dark State. I'm telling you, the hall's telling you that's the most exciting thing you will see tonight. Go look at it. Tony D'Angelo's the fucking man on NXT. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know the plan, but I cannot wait to see it. Bullish, completely bullish. So after this, we have the Vanity Project and Ethan Page talking backstage. They're basically talking about how they're going to end up having titles later on. And Ethan Page he's some type of mentor to the Vanity Project because you know the Vanity Project just came from Evolve. So they're talking. Next thing you know, Miles Bourne storms in and he says he want to know what it's going to take for Ethan to give him a title match. And Ethan said, "You're never going to get a title match, homie. It just ain't going to happen." Then Miles says, "Okay, we'll see about that." So he storms out. He runs into Ricky Saints while he's coming through the door. Ricky Saints says, "Oh, that's one of the rudest guys I've ever met. He might be the rudest guy in NXT." Then they just go around talking about how Ricky's going to win the title at Vengeance Day. They have Vanity Project's going to end up winning the tag team #1 contenders match coming up later so they can get gold. And then Ethan Page, yucking it up all ego. So, yes, I'm bearish on that. I mean, they're just back there talking. Nothing really just got forwarded. So, we'll see what leads from that. So, after that, we got match number 3. Match number 3 was the #1 contenders match for the tag titles. So we had Hank and Tank versus Vanity Project versus OTM versus The Culling. And this match was pretty damn good. We had OTM looking strong early. Then Hank and Tank starts to take off, and then the Culling comes back, and they reverse the momentum, and they start to take over. But at the end of this match, the Vanity fucking Project takes advantage, and they get the W. The pretty boy heels from Evolve have moved on up in NXT so fast, shot the rocket on those guys immediately because Jackson Drake just had a title shot last week. So these other 2 guys, I'm sorry, I cannot think of their names. I do not know their names. Chat, let me know what their names are. I am not familiar with their names. I'm just calling the Vanity Project now. They are getting title shots right now. So next week, They'll be going against Dark State for the championships. And the thing about this is we got two heels. So I think Dark State's gonna retain, but with Vanity Project having all this momentum right now, this may actually be time to make Evolve a bigger thing on NXT. So we will see how this goes. I'm actually bullish on this because the Vanity Project are actually interesting. They're smallish cats, but they're weaselly heels, and they play to their gimmick very well. So I like gimmick gameplay. It's fun, and it makes this developmental thing fun. So yes, I'm bullish on it. We'll see how it goes. I feel like someone's going to interfere in this and they're going to cost the Vanity Project. But again, we'll see how that goes. Extremely fucking bullish. So after this, we got a Keanu Carver promo. And the thing about this, Keanu Carver is just telling you how vicious he's in, how vicious he is. He's showing how he was on the football team in high school, how he got recruited to college. He said he couldn't be controlled in high school, he couldn't be controlled in college. And the college coach said he couldn't tackle well and he didn't have good technique. And the guy says, "How you gonna tell me what I can do? How you gonna come at me? You can't do what I do." So Keanu Carver is basically telling you that he's just this untamed beast that cannot be controlled, that cannot be corralled by anybody. And he's going to be coming after Sean Legacy next week because Sean Legacy called him out last week. And I think Keanu Carver is going to pull a Tony D'Angelo and beat the brakes off Sean Legacy because they are building him up to be a world beater. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm The Hoss is not big on Keanu Carver's name, but the way they're booking Keanu Carver, they're gonna make him something, I guess, something towards an Obafemi type character. Now we'll see how that goes, but they're building him very strongly. They are booking him like a universal threat. So I'm bullish on this. I'm not big on his character per se, because he just looks like a belligerent black man, but are questionable. I question a lot of black characters we have in wrestling today. So we'll just see how that goes. But I'm bullish on Keanu Carver. So after this, we have a Stone segment. Stone kicks out Ricky, and Joe walks up, and Joe says, "Out of respect, we have to kick you out as well for the fight that they had earlier." So Ruka walks up, and Zarya is there sitting to the side. And this might be the most interesting story going after this, after the Tony D'Angelo thing. Soul starts to speak, and Zarya ain't having that shit. She don't want to hear it. She don't want none of it. Zarya is mad as fuck. She says she is sick of the friendship, and she's over this shit. Is Zaruka over? We're gonna see. The horse is bullish on this drama. We love the drama of Zaruka because last week Soul got the pin on JC. Well, not on JC Jane. She got the pin on Kendall Gray, and she became the number one contender for to go against JC Jane. And the thing about it was a tag team match, and Zarya wanted this shot, and Soul knew it, but she didn't even think. She didn't think twice. She took the spot, and Zarya was fucking pissed. So Zarya is still pissed over this because Soul has had so many chances, and Zarya feels like it's her time, and this really woke her the fuck up. She was mad as hell. I'm completely bullish on this drama. We love wrestling that's like a like a soap opera, and Zaruka right now, Zarya and Zaruka is a complete soap opera. I love it. Bullish. Let's see where this goes. So after this, we have Fatal Attraction walking out. JC Jane comes out with the title. You know, she's strutting her stuff, just up there, just rubbing it in, just healing it up like she is. And the thing about it, she starts cutting a promo, and she talks about Soul, and she's talking about the relationship between Soul and Zarya. Says Soul won't never have a chance at this title, and her friends won't be there to save her. So Soul walks out, and she tells JC Jane that it's one thing I won't tolerate. You're not going to talk about the friendship that me and Zarya have. So, and she says, and Soul says, you're never going to change. You're going to be the same old JC that you've always been. So next thing you know, JC just slaps the taste out of Soul Ruka's mouth. And then the rest of Fatal Attraction comes in to jump Soul Ruka. And you know who comes? Zarya comes and comes there and clears fucking house. Beats all three of their asses. Gorilla presses JC Jane until Fallon Henley and the other woman, I can't think of her name right now. Oh, Laney Reed. Yeah, just gorilla presses her, throws her over the ring, and clears house. And after this, Soul is out there, still up there holding her face because she got smacked. Zarya picks her up and they hug. So they seem to have reconciled at this point. So yes, Zaruka is still a thing, but the House is really questioning this because I believe that Zarya is going to cost Soul Ruka that championship very soon against JCJ. I'm bullish on this. Can't wait to see it. I hope they don't fuck it up. We will see how it goes. So I'm bullish on this. Let's go to the next segment. After this, we have Eli Knight, Elio Lafleur, the French luchador, and Sean Legacy backstage. I couldn't care less. Bearish. They're just talking before we have our speed contender finals match. So we go into match 4, which I just told you is the speed contenders finals match. Eli Knight versus Elio Lafleur. This ends in a fucking draw. I bullshit you not. This match ends in a draw. It was nice athletic moves, and it just ends in a draw. So Stone comes out and he says that we're gonna have a first time for our first time in forever, or our first time ever, whatever you want to could put with that. We're gonna have a triple threat speed championship match, and the time limit is gonna be 7 minutes. I just don't care. Like Jasper Troy is the speed champion. I got this big ass man as speed champion, which is funny to me. But he comes in, he does his job, he wrecks house and beats your ass. So we're gonna have a triple threat. Even though I'm bearish on that title, I'm bullish on this match. I'm interested to see how this goes. So count me in next week when it happens. We got the triple threat between Eli Knight, Elio LaFleur, and Jasper Troy for the speed championship. Like I said, bullish, completely bullish. All right, so we have another Shiloh Hill segment. Miles Bourne walks by and he's talking it because Shiloh Hill's trying to get himself ready for this match. And Miles Bourne says, "When you lose tonight, make sure it's gonna be me. I'm next in line." And Shillow's like, "How's it gonna be you next in line when I'm gonna win tonight?" And Miles says, "It's got to be Ethan. It's got to be Ethan. Can't be you. Got to be Ethan." Then he walks off. So I'm bullish on this. That means Miles Bourne's gonna do something tonight. We will see. He's gonna do fucking something. He's gonna fuck some shit up. He's gonna probably get in somebody's way. But Miles Bourne is on a mission to do fucking something. So I'm bullish on this. We're coming to it. We're coming to the head very soon. So we'll see about it. Excuse me. All right, next segment, we got Fallon Henley. She's up there having a meeting with Stone. Stone says he's working on the women's speed championship bracket. Oh, goody. More tournaments. So Blake Monroe pops up and she started asking about Jada Parker. Because last week Jada Parker beat the brakes off Blake Monroe, made her run like a bitch, and then she went and beat up security geeks. She beat up referees, kicked men in the nuts, clotheslined men, slapped men, did everything to these men violently, and made Blake Monroe just run up and curl like a bitch. So yes, Blake Monroe, she's asking for Jada, and Stone says Jada Parker has a neck injury and she's not cleared. Not cleared. So I'm thinking this injury's in kayfabe. So Jada's gonna probably be off for the week, and we'll see her next week. But we'll see. They say it's a neck injury. That's a hard injury to sell kayfabe wise. So if your neck's hurting, ain't no coming back next week. So we're gonna see how that goes. So Stone said he needs another participant for his speed bracket that he's preparing. And he says, "Oh, let me nominate somebody." You know who he nominates? Blake Monroe. So Blake, she's happy about this. He says, "You got a match with Thea Hale." So that smile that Blake just had just turned upside down. She was disgusted, pissed. She stormed off, upset. Because as you know, her and Thea Hale have history. Because Thea Hale took her North American title not too long ago. And the thing about it, that was a fuck up that happened. So it shouldn't have happened. But so they had to pivot. So yes, Blake Monroe has beef with Thea Hale. They're gonna have a speed match next week. Call me bullish on it. I believe Blake's gonna go over, but it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be fine women. I can't argue with it. The House won't argue with seeing fine women fight fast. So bullish. Let's go on. So after this, we have reached our main event, ladies and gentlemen. We have the North American title match, Ethan Page versus Shiloh Hill. And a reminder, If Ethan Page wins tonight, he'll have the record for most title defenses in this company for the North American title. And like I say, he's only 20 days away from tying Obafemi and Carmelo Hayes for the record of title days title reign of holding the record for title reign. So Ethan Page wins this match, and it was actually a decent match. It was a Shiloh Hill showcase. He showed how powerful he was. Then he takes his teeth out. I guess he gets a power up for taking his teeth out. That's the gimmick. He's supposed to be some kind of computer guy when his teeth come out. Yeah, he just takes the teeth out and gets strong as fuck. I don't know. Funny as hell. It's goofy every time he does it, but it's worth your time to see the match. It's not as impactful as the Tony D thing to me, but this showed that Shiloh Hill is a player in NXT, and they do have plans for him. He's a big country looking motherfucker, and he's interesting. I don't think he's just going to be a big deal on the main roster, but he could change my mind. He's a big dude. He has a presence. So interesting. Very interesting. But he loses this match because the Page has help from his friends, the Vanity Project. So the Vanity Project come out there. They serve distractions. They're up there. They end up pulling up the cover over the concrete. And Page ends up hitting a twisted grin on the concrete. He puts Shiloh Hill back in the ring and gets another twisted grin for the 1, 2, 3. And next thing you know, the Vanity Project end up ambushing Shiloh. Here comes Miles Bourne. So Miles Bourne comes in for the save. The numbers game is here, but they're still behind. But still, they end up, Shiloh Hill gets back up, and they just decimate the Vanity Project, get them up out of there. Next thing you know, Miles Bourne is up there attacking Ethan Page. I'm talking about throwing lefts and rights and knocking him out on the ground and everything. And next thing you know, Miles Bourne gets a chair. I'm like, what the fuck are you finna do with this chair? He sets up Ethan Page's ankle for a concerto. So Ethan Page is up there calling, please. Just like, no, no, no. Miles like, what is it going to take? Give me my title shot. Give me my title shot. And then Ethan says, all right, you get your title shot next week. Just don't break my ankle. Do you know what Miles Bourne does? Miles Bourne says, fuck that. He's still, you going to eat this concerto. And he gave it to him. Man, Ethan Page out there hollering for dear life. You just think his ankle snapped, and that's the end of the show. And like I told you, there was a lot that went on in this show, but it was so quick and nicely paced. This was a good show. Like NXT is serving up a good meal for like the third straight week. I know for the second straight week I've been interested, and we got a nice thing going into next week. We got what's going to happen to Tony D. We're going to have another North American title match. We're going to have I think. Well, I can't. I'm not going. Don't let me lie to you. It's just going to be a lot of stuff there for you to see. Again, oh yeah, we got Blake Monroe in the Speed Championship. We got the Speed Championship men's final, the triple threat. So those are a few matches that's just going to be there right now that I can think of on top of my head. But yes, this show is the standard right now, and the bar is very low, but it's the standard for WWE right now. And it's a shame because WWE is on the road to WrestleMania, and your developmental is your best show going right now. That's a damn shame. So yes, before I end this show, you know I gotta take you to the Gooners Lounge. Take them to the Gooners Lounge, baby. Take them to the Gooners Lounge. And the four ladies that's gonna have you dreaming up a storm tonight. What you gonna be thinking about while you in that bathroom in the shower? You're gonna be thinking about Lola Vice, Kaylani Jordan, Fallon Henley, and Blake Monroe. And I'm gonna tell you their names again because the Gooners Lounge, we gotta remind you why are you gooning in the first place? Because these women are so fucking fine. You got Lola Vice, Kaylani Jordan, Fallon Henley, and Blake Monroe. And that's my show for y'all this evening. Thank you for showing up with me. And I'm again your host, Knuckle Brew the Hoss. And this has been another episode of Over as Fuck, as you can see in the title screen. And I want to leave you with this. Even if you are down on your luck, ladies and gentlemen, that does not mean that you cannot be over as fuck. Thank you for joining me. Y'all have a great night.